Champions meetings are monthly events in Uma Musume that let you send your best team of 3 veteran Umas to face off against teams formed by other trainers. Over the course of a single CM, you will run 80 races and face 480 opponents before getting the chance to run in a finals race to claim the ultimate glory of the Platinum title, and a handful of free carrots and other goodies. I'm a huge fan of these, not just for the possible rewards and the enjoyment I get in trying to constantly craft the best possible Umas for the next CM, but because I have been recording the data from each CM since Libra Cup. Statistics are fascinating to me. Being able to keep track of who I face and how I've done has given me another facet for enjoying this game. If you want to start doing this too, a link to a blank copy of the sheet I use will be in the description. For now, allow me to give you a rundown of what the second Gemini Cup was like on my end. My name is Cody, otherwise known as DM Goodboy. Let me just say thank you so much for the warm welcome on the Uma Pretty video. It was a ton of fun, and there are already plans to do another. So if you want to watch that when it comes out, or if you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe. In this video, I'll be doing a breakdown for each of the 4 days of the Champions meeting, followed by the final race. We'll be touching on the frequency and top 3 placement for each Uma, as well as the number of unique trainees across the CM. This Champions meeting, Gemini 2, is a race based on the Yasuda Kinen. Since this is a post-analysis rather than a prepping video, I'm just going to show a graphic which explains the course's details, and move on to the team that I brought. For any Champions meeting, I like to prepare an assortment of Umas to freely mix and match them as I look to find the best possible combination for winning races. This time around, I was lucky to hit the nail right on the head at the start. My singular team consists of Saiyan Sky, Summer Maruzensky, and Narita Taishin. This composition of 2 fronts and an end closer is often referred to as a chariot team, where the 2 frontrunners will hold the front and set the pace, while the runner in the back line prepares to take over on the final straight. On day 1, my 2 frontrunners immediately showed their ability to handle the front of the pack. Saiyan Sky won 2 races in the first batch of 5, then came in third 7 times through the remaining 15. My Summer Maruzensky wasn't giving me much hope before registration. While, yes, the Essen mile is exactly what you want, I was a bit upset with only getting my speed to 1127, rather than it north of 1150. But apparently, that didn't stop the beast from being, well, a beast. Through the first 20 races, Maru had 9 wins, with 5 silvers and 2 bronze. While I was ecstatic to get the success here, I was worried a bit about my Taishin. My usual pace for CMs is to do runs in 10 race sessions, so 2 batches of 5. Doing this allows me to make new trainees before the next set of 10 if I feel like fixing something or run out of my reserve of veterans and need to produce a new one. In my first session, I tried 2 different Taishins. The first had an Essen mile and a solid skill and attribute spread, referred to with double A in reference to the inherited anchors away, but couldn't quite catch up like I wanted her to. She did win once and came in second twice, but that wasn't good enough. The second only had an A in mile, but an S in turf, and again a good spread of skills and attributes, including capped wit. This Emperor's Taishin performed better, getting 2 wins and only coming in second once, but this still wasn't good enough to me. My goal, whenever feasible, is to try and accentuate Narita Taishin's potential in Champions meetings. Sometimes it goes great, like the time my Taishin scored 39 wins across the entire Sagittarius Cup. But sometimes it flounders, like when I tried so hard to make a sprint Taishin for Capricorn Cup, but she couldn't even get into the top 3. This CM is prime territory for Taishin to shine. So winning 3 times in 10 attempts felt like these 2 missed the mark a bit. With that in mind, I decided to try and build a better Taishin in this day 1 interlude. I also figured it may be better if I lean more into the 20% guts growth rate by dropping my SSR fine motion for SSR guts Bijin. That, with a bit of spark luck, was all I needed to make the perfect Taishin. I capped speed, got power and guts pretty close, and was able to still get solid numbers in both stamina and wit. Not only this, but I also hit the mile and turf sparks to have them both at S. This Taishin immediately proved to be the ace I wanted her to be for the CM, scoring 5 wins, 2 silvers, and 2 bronze across the last 10 races of day 1. She was the number 1 favorite in 9 of these 10 races. The one time she wasn't, it went to an opposing Summer Maruzensky, which Taishin passed in the last second to win that race. These results combined to give me 19 wins in 20 races. The one race I lost was to an opposing Summer Maruzensky in the second batch of 5. Speaking of, Summer Marzensky and Taiki Shuttle were the two most frequent Umas that I faced on day 1 with 8 each. Worth noting as well are Narita Taishin and Valentine's Mahono Bourbon, who both showed up 7 times. There were still a number of off-meta choices as well, as I counted a total of 43 unique trainees across day 1. I do love seeing more and more Umas joining the game, but it does make me a little sad to know I'll never see 113 gold chips, or 127 Bakushins, like I've seen in past CMs. With this team on lock, I go into the second half of round 1, mainly wondering how this little inter-team rivalry between my Summer Maru and Taishin will go. Which of them will be the one true MVP of the CM? But of course, we can't forget about Seiyun Sky, who's just as important of a team member, even if her record pales in comparison. Sky won the very first race of the day, although it would be her only win of the day, and she also came in second twice and third once. In the battle of Taishin versus Marzensky, this day would go to Taishin. Maru still performed marvelously, with 7 wins, 8 silvers, and 4 bronze. That is a 95% top 3 rate on the day, meaning she only missed a spot on the podium once in 20 attempts. The new Taishin was making up for lost time and cared more about wins than consistency, with 9 first place finishes, 4 silvers, and 2 bronze. If you already did the math yourself, you'll know that I won 17 out of 20 for this day, for a grand total of 36 wins and 4 losses in round 1. My losses on day 2 all came from backliners, a late cheerleader King Halo, an end closer Oguri Cap, and someone else's Taishin. I even went back to confirm my suspicions that, in fact, all of these losses were likely due to Let's Pump Some Iron, a unique skill that provides a hearty acceleration boost for those in 6th place at the beginning of late race when on a corner. My Taishin also has this ability, but as you can see in the screenshots, she pushed up too soon for it on these two, and simply loved the spot in the back too much for this one. Round 1 comes to a close after facing a total of 59 unique Umas. Taiki Shuttle remained as the most frequent one I faced, but a lack of Summer Marzensky's showing up allowed a Guri Cap to join Taiki at the top, with 18 occurrences each. Before we start round 2, here's how this round 1 compares to my previous round 1s. An overall record of 36-4 is a tied personal best with my performance in Aries Cup, and the 4th time out of the 9 I've tracked so far that I won 30 or more races in round 1, alongside Pisces and Sagittarius. My average number of wins in round 1 rises from 25.25 to 26.4 repeating. My Summer Marzensky's 16 wins in round 1, while an incredible performance, is only the 4th best when it comes to round 1 wins by a single veteran. The top 3, as of recording this, are Scorpio Taishin with 18, Sagittarius Taishin with 21, and Aries Christmas Oguri with 22. We'll be sure to see these names again once we wrap up round 2. On to day 3 with the A-Team, and I am already preparing myself for a much less successful set of races. Compared to the round 1 average win count, round 2 has a much less successful average of 20.5 wins. And as I'm bracing myself for defeat, I get immediately paired against a UG2 cheer Halo. Surely, if Halo was one of the 4 losses I suffered back in round 1, this was just going to be another, oh look, Taishin wins by 4 lengths. To my surprise, my team didn't falter. Seiyun Sky, while still not posting as impressive of a record as the other team members, won 4 races and had no other placements on day 1. Maru and Taishin were very evenly matched on this day as well. Both of them scored 7 wins each, with Maru getting 7 silvers and 2 bronze to Taishin's 8 silvers and 1 bronze. A new best record for day 3 at 18 wins and 2 losses, those coming at the hands of Base Oguri and Taishin. Speaking of opponents, round 2 is where you expect more meta Umas to show up, as they are the ones expected to succeed. Valentine's Bourbon showed up 16 times on day 3, which is 1 more than the entirety of round 1. The next closest on the day is Taishin with 10. As for the unique Uma count, I only saw 36. Before, those were brand new, so the total count for the CM is now 63. Before this entire CM, my best record for round 2 was 26 wins and 14 losses, back in Pisces Cup. My best record on a whole CM was 59 wins and 21 losses in the Aries Cup. At the start of day 4, I am 6 wins from having a new CM PB and 9 wins away from a new round 2 PB. Nice. My team showed no signs of fatigue and continued their dominance. One highlight being a race where my bad mood Taishin scored a new best time of 129.8 against an opposing UG3 Taishin. That was just one of 10 wins for Taishin on this day. Adding on the 3 silvers and 2 bronzes as well, this Taishin ends the CM on top with 31 wins, 17 silvers, and only 7 bronze. Saiyan Sky added on a 5th win in the round to make it 8 across the entire CM. Tag on 5 more silvers, and we're looking like this for her CM totals. Before discussing the final stats for Maruzensky, I want to state how incredibly lucky I feel when it comes to this Uma. I am not someone who has been running Summer Maru for ages now, quite the opposite in fact. A few days before registration for Gemini 2, I was watching the Inari 1 story, both as a way to get some free carrots, and because I like the storylines we get between trainer and trainee. Being a Taishin fanatic and general end-closer enjoyer, I decided to do a bit of unwise spending, and put all 15 tickets I had into the Inari banner, as a way to possibly get another end-closer to add to my barracks. The 5th ticket was Summer Maruzensky. I had been working to make a Smart Falcon to be on the team for this CM for about a week and a half. And I even made a solid SS+. Pulling Summer Maruzensky in that exact moment told me to put her on the team. This Maru was built on my 2nd ever Maru run. My exact comments on it were this: last training sucked, got grad cap on last possible shot, but I ain't complaining. Less than perfect speed is honestly fine for me, since I want to win with Taishin. Maru's day 4 was the worst of the 4 days, but only because of the lack of seconds and thirds. She scored 7 wins again, and got only 2 silvers and 5 bronze. Her final total on the CM is 30 wins, 22 silvers, and 13 bronze. We'll touch on where that places her in my all-time rankings after my round 2 opponent stats. My final score for day 4 was 18 wins and 2 losses. This time, both of my losses came from Valentine's Bourbon. With 29 round 2 occurrences, she is the most common Uma I saw across the entire CM, with 44 total. Behind her was Taiki Shuttle with 41, who despite never winning against me, did place 8 times. Narita Taishin rounds out the top 3 most frequent Umas with 35 occurrences. Not only did she have the most placements against me with 13, which is 2 more than Valentine's Bourbon, she was also the Uma that I saw with the highest ranking at UG3, like I mentioned before. Round 2 saw a total of 47 unique Umas, with 6 of them not being in round 1. The final total for unique Umas was in fact 65, which ties the amount I saw in Taurus 2. My duplicated record of 36-4 in round 2 without a doubt blows existing data out of the water. Prior to Gemini 2, my round 2 average was 20.5 wins, and my overall average was 45 3/4. With the new data, the round 2 average goes up just shy of 2 wins to 22 2/9. The overall average increased by almost 3 wins to 48 2/3. So a tied best round 1 and a new best round 2 that I don't see being beaten anytime soon, let's be real. And we have a total of 72 wins out of 80 races, a whopping 90% win rate. Looking at the individual performances of the veterans, Taishin's 17 wins in round 2 this CM falls 1 shy of the record set by Sagittarius Taishin. Summer Maru's 14 wins is tied 3rd with Aries Christmas Aguri. For total win counts, neither were close to the top 2 spots held by the veterans already mentioned. Sagittarius Taishin has a whopping 39 wins across both rounds, and Aries Christmas Aguri has 36. Gem 2 Taishin, with 31 wins, takes the spot at 3rd, with a notable asterisk for only running 70 races rather than the full 80. Gem 2 Summer Maru, being 1 behind with 30 wins, is unsurprisingly in 4th place, which is a tied 4th with Scorpio Taishin. Gemini 2 Taishin's skewed data, due to only racing 70 times, puts her at my 2nd best top 3 rate with 58 out of 70. The best spot is Sagittarius Taishin with 69 out of 80, again I say, nice. And to round off the top 3 of the top 3 is a tied spot between Gemini 2, Summer Maruzensky, and Aries Oguri Cap. In just a moment, we will watch the full finals race. However, let's see what we're facing. One opponent has brought Flower, Taiki, and a Christmas Aguri for a 3-pacer comp. All of them have S-Mile, which is a sign that despite the gap in ratings between them and my UGs, they can still be very competent in pulling out a win. The other opponent appears to be a triple end closer team, but upon further inspection, the Tamamo Cross and Manhattan Cafe are both not at all spec'd for Mile. The only one spec'd for Mile is Taishin. While my first thought was they were screwed over by an auto-select team, I then realized that it was intentional. Remember how I talked about Let's Pump Some Iron earlier? You need to be in 6th place on the final corner to trigger that. So, what if you could easily control that by guaranteeing that 8th and 9th place are taken? I would love to see how this actually worked out for them, but in my opinion, I would rather bring a team where all 3 or at the very least 2 members can win the race. And now that we know what we're up against, let's see how this race unfolds. Will the dirty tricks work and let the fellow UG1 Taishin pump its way to victory? Will the underdog pace team surge ahead with the right string of skills? Or will I be claiming my 5th platinum title? Let's watch.
1番人気9番成田大臣 この一戦で頂点が決まるジェミニ杯決勝人気と実力を兼ね備えたここまで無敗秋の三冠馬娘セイウンスカイ今日は3番人気です2番人気を紹介しましょうここまで無敗三冠馬娘2番成田大臣スタンドに押しかけたファンの期待を一身に背負ってここまで無敗秋の三冠馬娘9番成田大臣1番人気です
気合十分いい顔してますね
ゲートイン完了出走の準備が整いましたスタート各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました
これは位置取りが熾烈になりそうですね
期待通りの結果を出せるか1番人気9番成田大臣セイウンスカイ快調に飛ばしていきます先頭はセイウンスカイ単身で飛ばしていきます2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのはマルゼンスキー早くも激しい競り合いそして待機シャトル差がなく西のフラワーすぐに続いてオグリキャップその後太陽マシン開いて9番成田大臣9番成田大臣落ち着かない様子
冷静さを取り戻せるといいのですが
2番成田大臣上がっていきます先頭は変わらずセイウンスカイ続いてマルゼンスキーその後太陽マシン開いて待機シャトル西のフラワー並んでくる大欅を越え4コーナーありがとうイルカちゃんジョベリグ
早く誰よりも早く甘く見て後で吠え面かかないでよね私がマジだってこと教えてあげる
まだ1馬身以上の差があるとここから捉えることができるのか勝負は最後の直線に持ち越されたじりじり詰めるマルゼンスキー9番成田大臣外で足を止めていますマルゼンスキーここで抜け出した最終コーナー最初に立ち上がったのはマルゼンスキーマルゼンスキー先頭はマルゼンスキーこれは強い栄光まで400食い下がる西のフラワー外を回っていったのは9番成田大臣200を通過西のフラワー追いすがるマルゼンスキーリードは1馬身マルゼンスキー今1着でゴールインやりましたマルゼンスキー見事先頭でゴールを駆け抜けジェミニ杯を制しました2着は西のフラワー3着は2番成田大臣
気持ちいい風次もまたかっ飛ばすわよ
And there we have it. Maruzensky holds first place from the start of late race to the finish line, beating out Nishino Flower and the opposing Taishin by half a length. It was really close at the end, and I did think Nishino Flower could pass at the last second, but some luck with abilities triggering at the perfect moments allowed Maruzensky to hold on and become the Gemini 2 champ. The RNG Radiant Star is what pushed Maru through the finish line, but the hesitant pace chasers coming from both Seiun Sky and Summer Maru really stopped the Nishino Flower from sending me home with a silver medal. If you got to this point in the video, I want to thank you so very much for watching. Let me know how you did in this past CM in the comments too. I'd love to know who else scored first in their races, or even if you came just shy of getting it. Now, if you'll excuse me, Christmas Oguri and I have a lot of work to do. I hope to see you in the Cancer Cup.